the other button.
What's going on? Our viewers, how you doing? This is the 108th episode of Breaking the Baits, and I have with me co-host Ken as well as MademB.
Hello.
Hey.
Ow.
And in this episode, we are going to be talking about the best and the worst snake movies. Now,
or snake movies.
Wow.
Snake demon movies.
And the rules for this are simple. They have to focus majority on snakes, or they have to have a significant portion of the movie to be focused on snakes. This could possibly include snake demons. I like Clash of the Titans. I really want to put that in this because of Medusa, but I can't because the scenes weren't long enough.
No, she didn't have enough time.
Or if they're actually a cult that worships snakes, fine, we'll give in to that.
Not Conan the Barbarian.
You just, oh Lord, oh Jesus, oh Jesus. There go half my list right there. But anyways, we're talking about the best and worst snake movies, and let's go ahead and get into it. Who wants to go first with their with a couple of their favorites?
I wouldn't say a couple. I'll just because after I look through the list, but Anaconda,
classic, probably the best one,
and then I have the list of Anaconda's film, but I did see Anaconda's The Hunt for the Blood Orchid. That was kind of all right, and I'll have to go with Snakes on a Plane.
Everybody knows about Snakes on the Plane.
Yeah.
Snakes on an MFing plane.
Mm-hmm. And I can't tell who made that movie more, Samuel Jackson or the Snakes.
I mean, you had nowhere to go.
Samuel Jackson makes the movie, period.
Yeah. I mean, right. I mean,
I think Snakes on the Plane was like a really good concept for snakes.
It was an original plan.
Yeah.
Get rid of the witness by getting rid of the whole plane. By what? Using snakes and pheromones to get rid of everybody.
It
was a very original plot.
Yeah, it's a pretty original plot.
Yeah, but I wonder, was that their first thought? How do you get rid of a witness by getting rid of everybody? How? How would you actually do that? By putting snakes on a plane.
I think that was one of those, like, somebody was, like, doing drugs, and they came up with it when they were young. Like, man, we got to come up with a pretty cool idea. And then the guy looked into his box of ideas he had for, like, 20 years. And I'm like, oh, this seems like a pretty interesting concept.
Yeah, well, you're snakes on a plane.
And not remembering he did it when he was on meth.
I mean, would you exactly call snakes silent killers?
Yeah, they are. Except for rattlesnakes.
The poisonous ones that aren't rattlesnakes, yeah.
Okay. I mean,
you'll never hear them coming.
Yeah, because they're right up on you, then they...
It's too late then.
Oh, I'm going to take that snake with me. They're going to find both of us up a hill. Me floated him flat because I fell on him.
What happened to that snake? Mm.
Yeah, he had smushed his tongue sticking out like a rat.
All right, Narik.
Stepped on his head.
Of course, Anaconda. Anaconda is probably the one movie above when it comes to snakes. Mainly because not only was it a good story, but the CGI and the practical, the animatronics and stuff, on point. So that makes it makes it one of the most standout snake movies. I did watch the 2000 film Python, where they experimented with this python and turned it into a giant 100-foot python. Maybe it was more than 100 feet, but it was huge. And Casper Van Dien was in the movie, and of course he got killed. And that was actually a decent movie.
That was not his best moment, because when I actually read it, when they had it in the little VHS, right at the back of the box. So it was like, it's up to Casper Van Dien to get rid of the snake. But he got killed.
Relatively early too.
Right. So I'm like, so who is it up to now?
I mean,
So
he didn't get killed early. He got killed by like halfway through the movie, but he wasn't deployed to like the 30-minute
But I'm
mark.
still. Why would they say it's up to him?
Marketing, because he was like literally the most known person up in the
right.
movie.
Because I didn't really know any of the other characters. I don't think.
But I did like that movie. It was a pretty interesting B-rated horror flick with a giant snake in it. So that I can't say I did like that. I mean, of course, snakes on the plane was really enjoyable. It was an interesting concept too. I have a couple more, but I'm gonna go ahead and switch it over to Ken just to keep things high.
Well, I have one. I was trying to remember. I had to go look it up. It was a movie that came out called The Snake King. And I think I caught it on one of them sci-fi movies, but it wasn't like made by sci-fi. It was another one that just kind of ran across where basically a group of folks expeditioning find a body, and they figure out the body's like 300 years old, and then they go do an expedition.
What year was it?
I don't know what year this one came out.
Because they got like 3 of them here. They got the Snake King's child, the Snake King's grandchild, the Snake King's wife.
2005, roughly. I mean, I'm kind of winging it here, but
okay, you can go ahead. I'm sorry.
Wait, there was a movie called King Cobra that I saw.
Yeah, there's a couple of different ones.
Let me write that down.
There seems to be a whole bunch of different ones. I remember this one because it was kind of weird. It was kind of off the wall because it wasn't. Basically, they were searching for the Fountain of Youth, and they ran across a tribe in the Amazon, and the tribe basically thought the tribe was guarding the Fountain of Youth, but it turns out actually it was a giant 5-headed snake, like a mythological snake. And it had been guarding the Fountain of Youth all this time. And so, unfortunately, they kind of meet their tragic deaths, as they go through the movie into like the last, I think, 2 people. And they kind of figure out, oh, okay, there's a price to be paid. All right, I got you. And
so
then
I think I've heard alive, of it. Or was the snake alive?
Yeah. Yeah, it was in a cave. It was the fountain was there, and the little tribesman was telling them about it. But then, this giant 5-headed, it was 5-headed snake come out, and I think it was an Stephen Baldwin film or something. There's one of those guys in there. But anyway, they basically at the end, I think the lady is the only one that's left and wheels and deals with the 5-headed snake god. I guess to become part of the team or something. But it was kind of a trippy movie because I've caught parts of it off and on, and I thought it was pretty cool.
So did they get killed like in the same way, or was it different ways?
Usually it was some type of snake. Some were traps. And of course, the snake god is like, it looks like it was, several different snakes, but it was actually just one giant one that was taking them all out. And of course, the tribesmen were there too, and they all had the tattoo of the 5-headed snake, the snake god, basically. And they were guarding
the guys there. One of the tribemen, if you remember, was any of them named Orochimaru?
You know what? This is not.
No. But I mean, it was something different. It was just one of those, just kind of, you thought it was a sci-fi off the wall movie, but it was pretty cool. I mean, it was different. Of course, we already talked about Python and Anaconda. Anaconda, the first one, I think it was the first one where they're going through and they have the bad guy got 8, and then he's spitting back out to go get somebody else.
Yeah.
That one was like, what? Because when they first caught that snake trolling the waters after they went past the barriers, and that monster come up out of there, and they're all like freaking out. And then, of course, you find, I guess, wherever that was, it a factory or a mill or something in the Amazon. And they had all the snake sheddings all over it, and they were like as big as houses.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, yeah, there's probably a problem here. But no, what do? They keep on trucking. They keep on trucking. I think there's another movie called The Snake Men. I was trying to find that one too. Trying to find some weird, obscure ones that we wouldn't normally talk about because Snake Men. I think.
Snake-
I think it was
Wait,
Snake
I think
Men.
Snake King is actually put that Snake Man.
Yeah, Snake King is actually what Snake Man. That's what they got on it.
Okay, so it's got two different names.
Okay, that's why I didn't see it. Okay.
Okay, sweet.
Weird.
They about to see the snakes on the train.
They have some snakes on a train?
Yeah.
What?
I'm thinking Asylum made that movie. Because they always make mockumentaries like that. Asylum, yeah.
It was Asylum. Yep, the Asylum is a mockbuster. Snakes on a train. Well, how good was this one? Who's in there?
Because I think they did Zombies on the Plane one time or something like that.
That'd be messed up.
Plane of the Dead or something like that.
These guys, Asylum comes up with some crazy stuff, but
they come up with some cool stuff. It's just I don't think they give a damn about
it. It said the film received mostly negative reviews.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's like,
man.
how the hell do you produce a ripoff this dispirited?
I don't understand. I mean, I guess there's a market for cheesy B movies or bad movies like
The
this.
It's sci-fi. Come on. Everybody, I mean, you know, remember
that. I don't understand it.
See, I remember like always watching like on Friday nights it would have like an Abbott Costello and then like one of the classic old horror movies. You know, it came from the Black Lagoon or Creature from Black Lagoon or the Queen Bee or, you know, some cheesy, you know, third-rate horror movie. And that is exactly what most of Asylum makes. Is either mockumentary or mock-ups of currently successful movies. But there's a market for it. There's always going to be a market for it for some reason. And it's just crazy that they have that.
But you know what? I can't really say that because I watch Sharknado and they make Sharknado.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess I shut my trap.
It's just Asylum.
There's another movie that I watched, and that's the one I just shouted out. I was like, I remember King Cobra, and I can't remember if this because it was a giant King Cobra, and they was trying to capture it. You know, one guy wants to capture it, everybody else want to kill it or whatever. It was, you know, the typical cliche and everything. But what made me laugh about it so much was when it bit people. It was practical. I'll give them that. It was practical. And every time it went to bite somebody, it went to like the camera view, and then they'll like quickly hit them like with the camera to make it seem like it bit somebody. And for that thing to be as big as it was, because it was big like the anaconda big.
Mm-hmm.
But every time it bit somebody, like the tooth marks are very small.
Yeah, you think it was like they would go right through you, but yet they're still sitting there.
It's like the teeth were like, it looked like water bottles. That's how big they were. But I will say it was a great use of practical effects. Like when it came to the way it moved somewhat, the way its teeth would come out and the fins, the little fin things that they have would come out. Like, I thought that was pretty cool. I also had seen Pythons 2. I think I've seen 3 of them actually. I know it was one. No, I saw the second one and some of the third one. I think the third Python movie was more than one. But I remember I'm looking at Copperhead. I'm like, did I watch that too? Dang. But in the Pythons movie, no, you know what? Pythons 2. So that would be. I think I saw this one, and I think I seen the third one. But I remember the third one.
Oh, you know, I think I have seen a Python movie too.
Yeah.
So I think I saw Python 3. Let me see.
I think I've seen 1 and 2 on Sci-Fi.
And in that one, the guy, like the Python was like smart, which pissed me off because I'm like, there's no way. Let's see, Pythons 2. Snaps.
Let's see.
It might have been Copperhead. I'm getting my movies mixed up. I'm sorry.
Well, there are a lot of them are very much alike. Because I remember watching one of these sci-fi ones, and they had like some military-controlled giant super snake that got loose, and they're on an island, of course, and they can't go anywhere, and they have to stop the snake. And that cannot. I think it was called. I think it was Python
versus Python.
Okay, I did see the Pythons too. Okay, I did see that one. I supposed to put Copperhead. I put Copperfield.
Really?
Not on me, mister.
Okay, it might be Copperhead then. I'm getting this stuff mixed up because there's so many freaking movies.
Okay, well, we gotta go with something. Okay, let's talk. Okay, who's seen Anaconda's the Blood Orchid? What did you think about that movie?
It was interesting. It was an interesting concept. This is one of the few times I would say that I'll make probably a big deal about the special effects because how great the special effects was in the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
The second movie, in terms of production value, does suffer because how well they executed the effects in the first movie, and in the second one they went straight CGI.
Well, I was gonna say that because after Anaconda and then Anacondas and then Anaconda Search for the Blood Orchid, it all seemed to go downhill. Like they didn't know what to do. Like
Anaconda, what do we do now? You know, we have all this great money.
The Blood Orchid, they were okay. That's what was making the Anacondas grow bigger. I guess they were saying.
Yeah. See, snakes continuously grow. What it was doing was it was extending their life. But because it was extending their life, they kept growing.
Okay.
They kept getting bigger and bigger.
So that's what I was trying to.
Well, the Blood Orchid. They said the Blood Orchid was to be like a fountain of youth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. Everything is a fountain of youth.
And then they only molt so long and then they die. But these things they're usually large because they've been extended.
The orgies of snakes at the end. Ugh.
I actually thought it was an interesting movie, and I like the direction that they did take with it. And they did do like they did in the first movie and show that even though they are up against these snakes, the snakes aren't the only threat.
Right. That spider. That was funny.
Morris Chestnut got firsthand experience inside of snakes. He had to suffer the most.
Well,
because not only couldn't he not move, he got ate whole.
Got crushed, and then he got ate.
So
no, I don't think he got crushed because he couldn't do nothing at that point. So they just swallowed him up. And he was paralyzed. I was like, being eaten alive is one thing. Being paralyzed and eaten alive, that's
tasty.
Struggle. I'm like, dang.
So they had to deal with that, and also they had to deal with actually the members of their crew turning their back on them, trying to get the big tamale all for themselves. So
he said tamale.
Yes, I said tamale.
Woo! There was one snake movie that pissed me off, and I'm trying to find it so I can rant about it.
But was it Piranhaconda?
I hope not.
Another great film brought to you by.
Yeah, Piranhaconda is actually a movie. It was stupid. It was a cheesy sci-fi movie, but I caught a glimpse of it and I watched it. Okay.
It was this movie, right? And it's got this one guy that's in these. In fact, do y'all remember Indiana Jones, the Raiders of the Lost Ark?
Absolutely.
The one where the guy that plays his dad,
Sean Connery.
No, not his dad. His friend, the one that had that red hat. I'm trying to think what it's called.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah, he plays in a lot of sci-fi movies.
Yeah, him. He was in the movie, and you know what his name is?
Hang on. He's famous too. He plays Gimli in Lord of the Rings.
Oh, John Rhys Davis. That's what it is. He was in this movie, And I guess he genetically engineered some super snake, right? And the snake could regenerate, and it was smart. And of course, he didn't care that the snake was killing people. He would see what it was they needed. He was experimenting on the snake for, I think, its regenerative capabilities. So that I think it would help him become younger or something like that. I'm like, okay, I guess. But in the movie, the snake was too smart. There was one part where the good guy and this mercenary were fighting. Mm-hmm. The snake snuck up on him. The good guy took off. Mercenary like, okay, the snake is on me. He's got me. I'm going to take this snake out with me. What the snake do to him? Because what he did was he pulled 2 grenades off of him and he flicked them. So he was like, they ain't going to eat me. I'm going to blow it up at least. What did the snake do? It took the hell off. And it got blew up.
What movie was that?
I'm trying to find it. I was like, that doesn't. No.
It sounds
Anaconda's Trail of Blood, also known as Anaconda 4, or Anaconda 3, The Offspring.
When you said that, it kind of sounds familiar.
I'm looking up his filmography, but I can't. I'm like, please tell me it's in there.
Yeah, it's one of those two because
I'm like watching this movie, and I'm like, there's no way in hell that just happened. The snake looked at him for a second and then dipset.
Anaconda 3 Offspring is what you're thinking of.
And the dude was like, what the hell? Explosion. I was like, dang.
We got to go. Boom.
And there was another part where he was like, I guess he got the blood, he made a serum with it, and he put it in his body. He was like, yes, ultimate power. And he's literally just spinning around like, yeah, for 5 minutes, literally. Like, I don't know who edited this, but this make no sense. He literally spun around like, yeah, and brought an opening on him. And some reason, the camera's not catching him, even though it's panning around this guy. And then the snake ate him. I was like, wow. That went south. My gosh, this is killing me with these movies. Oh my gosh.
Anaconda's Trail of Blood is the other one that he's tied into. Because the third one, they have the snake that's been genetically modified, and then it's like they blow it all up, and then the tail end they find a baby snake, and in Anaconda's Trail of Blood, they actually take the baby snake and pull a serum off of it to allow Murdoch, who's suffering from bone cancer, to regenerate him.
Yeah, okay, you're right. Anaconda's Blood. It was under television. Let me go ahead and write that down.
Okay, I did see this. I don't know how true it is, but I saw this. I thought it was like another snake movie. The Titanova monster snake. It was a documentary on Netflix. I thought it was like, okay, it's another, snake movie. I go ahead and watch. But as I was watching, I did become like intrigued because it's like they uncovered these remains, and when they thought it was remains of some other animal, but they realized it was the remains of a snake. It was like, okay, well, snakes don't get this big, so it was like, okay, we're gonna take it to this, we're gonna take it to that, and they realized that it was actually a snake. That what they had discovered was actually a giant snake, and then they did all this research on it and discovered that I'm not gonna say this word.
What is it?
Titanoboa cerejoensis.
Titanoboa.
Yeah.
You did. That was Sarah Joan.
Okay. Yeah, they had the snake measuring 48 feet long, weighing 2,500 pounds. Now,
I don't find that hard to believe.
That's a big ass snake.
That's a big ass snake.
But you got to think about it. Back then, they uncovered the so-called giant shark. They had giant apes back then. They had dinosaurs and stuff.
No,
Dang, what was that?
I know, but it was like as I'm watching this, I'm like, no, they're just. But when I'm watching this, I saw them actually do a little thing and put the snake together, what it would look like. And when they finished it, it was like they said it from the era that it was that it devoured the things that it would eat. It was just like amazing, really. So that's,
Actually, I don't find it hard to believe because we had giant animals before.
But I'm just saying, it was kind of can I be amazed?
Excuse me, be amazed. Go ahead. Knock yourself out.
Hush, what do you think, Ken, about the monster snake?
Finding something that large now is crazy.
I'll be more impressed if they actually showed me one now. Not
there's
like,
so much.
Like, some stuff like that. No.
There's just so much out there we don't even know or haven't even seen yet that is such a that's why they like make those movies like Anaconda where you have a mythologically large snake because an Indian tribe has been talking about him for centuries, but then they actually go in there and find that there's actually meaning behind it because there's freaking huge snakes out there. Yeah, I've seen some pretty good Photoshop work of large snakes and stuff like that. I don't think I've seen anything that big, but seeing an anaconda, I mean, they're big.
Yeah, they're really big.
They're 25 feet long, several hundred pounds. Yeah, they're real and they're huge, and they've been known to take down mid-sized animals and eat them whole. So that's kind of creepy and scary.
Right, they have it on exhibit. I would like to go see that one day. I
can't even potentially think of how big that actually really is.
Yeah, when they finished it they had to actually do it outside. Length of the building they were in, it would not do. So they had to, that's how long and big it was. So when they got finished, after finding the research about it and what it would eat and where it came from, then they went exploring and found other snakes and anacondas and stuff like that. Like what family, what I know from the snake family, but what?
Yeah, the record holder snake right now that's documented that's alive is 26 feet long and 550 pounds, and it is 8 meters, which is about 24 or 25 feet long. So. That's the world record holder snake right now that's been documented. And that is being held up by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 16 people have to hold that snake up. That's how big that snake is.
Mm-hmm.
I know I ain't doing it.
I ain't touching no snake. And that's the largest recorded snake currently. So that other snake is 7 times that size. Yeah, 6 times that size. That's huge. That's a man-eater. No joke. That really is a man-eater.
All right. They like longer than a bus, eats crocodiles for breakfast.
Delicious.
It was kind of amazing watching them, clean the fossil and be like, yeah, this is some other animal. And then they realize, well, no, this actually comes from a snake. And they're like, no, you're lying. Like, no,
you ever watch was that Rice Davis or not Rice Davis? God, what was that guy's name? He went out there and he was going to go out and try to get eaten by an anaconda.
Yeah, he had that metal suit on.
Yeah, dumbass. Go out there and try to get ate. And then there's another show before that one where these guys were just going, we're going to try to find us an anaconda out here and see what we can find. And that sucker grabs that dude, snatches him, and like wraps him up, and they're like trying to get the snake off him before it crushes him. I mean, it was so fast that dude didn't even know what hit him. I mean, it was quick, and they were just walking around the marsh, like, oh, we're gonna look for one. Snitch, that dude's gone. And they're like, here we go.
They actually go out and do that, and you guys are flying today.
Are you out of your dumb mind? What's wrong with you? Going to find a snake that outweighs you and you're in their own environment. So not only are you at a disadvantage to begin with, now you're walking around like, oh, let's go see if we can find a snake out here. Stupid people.
Especially when they be up in the I guess what you call the swamp, or that you can't even
Marsh.
see it. They be like,
yeah, you can't see nothing. That's their hometown, man. They know.
There she goes.
Here we have a stupid guy about to get eaten by a very large snake who will never know what hit him.
He's scared to come out.
Come out and play, little creepy snakes. Come on. Yeah, you're toast. You know you're gonna die.
Like, messing with them.
I hate snakes.
All right, but I want to ask a question. Out of the movies, even the cheesy sci-fi movies or the movies that I haven't seen, it's like they all have one thing in common. Whether it's have to do with snakes or just the people involved, it's like they're all searching for something, and it's like can be something ridiculous.
There is one snake movie. It came out, I believe, in the 80s. I can't remember. I think it might be called Venom, where for some reason these snakes infested this town, and it was kind of like arachnophobia, but with snakes. And they was trying to figure out like what the snakes was to stop them. They would just go around just biting the hell out of people. When they bite you, die.
Yeah, it sounds very familiar. There was a couple TV movies about the Habu, which is also the what is that? The most deadliest snake in the world. I call them Habu. I can't think of their name. Mamba, Black Mamba.
Oh, okay.
Where they had like a mamba that got loose in this building, and it had like there was a kid, a dad, a research scientist, and something, and they all the Habu basically is dropping them like flies because its bite's so toxic it just kills you within minutes of being bit. And there was like a TV movie, and they had this whole thing going through of all these people being taken out of the snake that shouldn't really be that dangerous.
Yeah.
But of course, and it was just simply, I think it was just, a research facility where they just, had snakes, coincidentally. Of course, keeping the most deadly snake in the world right there, is not a brilliant idea. But
that's funny. I mean, it's messed up, but it's funny.
It's I think there was like one of the little TV movies, they were trying to, I can't remember why. There was like a bunch of movies like that where, we were talking about alligators and the sewer and gator. And then they had the Black Mamba movie, and then there was another one right behind it of these cheesy, basically made for TV shows before sci-fi even really existed. And they played them on like Friday nights or Saturdays as fill-ins. But yeah, there's all kind of stuff. But yeah, you're right. And the other thing is they're always either really super smart or they're super giant big. You never get one. Except the only one that really sticks out different is snakes on a plane, because they were just the normal snakes, but they were enticed by pheromones to, basically take out the plane. But if we look at all the movies we talked about so far today, they've been ginormous, super intelligent, or both. And in every movie, they're always looking for the orchid, a cure, the fountain of youth.
You know what? There was a movie back in the day called, I think, Reptiles, and there was these people in this like plantation, and like all the reptiles, even though frogs are not reptiles, they started like attacking people. Because I remember one of the women got bit. It was funny because when the snake struck her, it sounded like somebody hit a piece of wood. It was like when she got bit, it was like, I was like, what?
She had a wood leg. That's what it
was. But I wanted to talk about that movie, The Sorcerer and the White Snake. And it's because the only reason I'm bringing it up is because the woman was a snake demon. It pissed me off because Jet Li,
I think I remember that movie.
It's like one of those monks that hunt down demons. And to him, doesn't matter if you're good, doesn't matter if you're bad, he's going to hunt you down and kill you. And the movie made me mad because, okay, she was a demon that fell in love with a human. And there was like a plague or something. And she was curing the people that got the plague. For people. Because he was like a medicine man. And of course, his methods weren't working, but she would help him with her powers. So it looked like it was working, right? So the entire movie, Jet Li's like, going to seal you away. And he wouldn't stop. And I'm like, so you're willing to let all these people die because your prejudices against her? And I'm like, of all the demons, all the other demons that you can, so why are you going after her? I mean, go after the other demons first. Why are you messing with her? You know what I'm saying?
Because he liked her.
No, he was a douchebag. And the ending was sad because in the end, she did end up getting sealed away. Because you felt for them too, because she was a good demon, and he was this guy, and the dude she fell in love with was this really nice guy, and he was trying his best to get Jet Li to sit his ass down, but it didn't work. and of course they did all the over the top stuff. For some reason, she could summon a giant tidal wave, and that movie got weird after a while. I was like, damn. But I brought that up because, the whole snake demon aspect. And yes, I will talk about Conan because there was a cult that did worship snakes.
And that's it. Anyway.
And the dude actually could turn into a snake.
Okay. With the movies that have the I guess you would call them
biopics.
Oh, I don't. What are your biopics from?
I don't know.
But scientifically engineered.
Oh, you just say that?
Hush. I was trying to think of another word.
Bioengineered.
Yeah. Let's just put them together. Bioengineering. Yes.
But yeah, and then they have them, and then they have a regular snake. So we're gonna make a bigger snake to go after this one. Then the bigger snake end up turning on its creators. That's like in almost every one of them that I've seen so far.
I don't like it when a snake is too smart and it kills people in ways a snake wouldn't kill a person. In that movie Python, that's how Casper Van Dien died.
Kill him with his tail.
Stabbed him in the back with his tail. I was like, what snake does that?
None.
And I think
it was an alien in disguise.
I think it was either Python. I think it was the Python, the sequel. The snake got out. What was one of the things he did? Stabbed the guy in the back with his tail. I was like, what snake does that? Like, what? I don't like it when creatures are like that. Python movie. Y'all can understand the Python was bigger. So yes, its body will be a little bit more denser. Well, I can say a little bit more. It'd be a lot more denser. But I don't think it'd be enough to actually bounce like bullets like that.
No, I don't think so. Again, we have to remember suspension of disbelief.
I mean, I'm like, to maybe small arms, but armor piercing, no.
I mean, you just have these movies that'll do that, and then it's just, okay, we're gonna do this. We don't care how many people get killed in the process. We need to get this snake out of here. So then I got, okay, what are we gonna do about the other snake? Lure him back to the lab with the human.
I think the best type of snake movie is just two movies. Okay, three movies. One, if it's with the regular snakes. If a person is outside their environment with a bunch of snakes. Another snake movie, and this one's kind of unconventional, but it did have a strong relation to snakes.
Ooh, he's excited.
What was that one movie? It was a possession movie. The woman was getting possessed because she had Alzheimer's, and the presence that possessed her had this like strong connection to snakes for some reason.
Oh, MademB.
Wow.
Is that a Slytherin from the Harry Potter series?
It was. This is what happened at the end, because I was looking at a gift for it. It was a woman trying to swallow this kid's head, and I was like, "What the hell is that?
What kind of movie?"
So I went back and found out what the movie was, and it was about a woman that she had Alzheimer's, and the possession gave her like snake-like abilities. Because when she took the kid out the hospital, this guard came up on her, and he was like, "Lady, what are you doing here? What's going on?" And the lady bit him like a snake and killed him with venom. And then when you see that part where she's trying to swallow his head, swallow the kid, she's doing it like a snake. The way her mouth is like going down on it, like going down on it, but trying to. I can't put that in. I can't say that right.
How long we got?
try to devour him is in the same way it was a snake and everything. And
the taking of Deborah Logan.
I think that was it. I think that's it because it's an old woman.
Alzheimer's disease.
Yes, they was doing a documentary of it, which is why they had found footage.
And trying to eat a kid by head. Yeah, I think I found your movie.
You know, I was like, that one was pretty cool too. But the snake movies, I still and King, like I said, King Cobra was pretty good. Especially with the animatronics. Even though some of the animatronics are a bit, they're kind of wonky. Like if you ever watch it, like it looks good, but you can tell it's animatronics and everything. Have any one of y'all seen any of the snake movies where the snakes are fighting other creatures?
Well, I did see, what was that?
There go that train again. Lord have mercy.
Well, the one I was talking about, Boa versus Python, and I think I remember seeing Mega Python versus Gatoroid.
Gatoroid. That's where they got it from. Gatoroid. There's a movie, low budget movie. I was watching Decker Shadow do it. Lord have mercy! I told you that train
every time.
Where there was a scientist that was experimenting on this guy, and by the end of the movie, he ended up turning the guy into a snake.
No.
I think it was called Hiss. Yeah, I think it was called Hiss, and I was like, that's a weird but interesting concept. So I'm like, okay, let's go with that. Ooh, snake people.
Okay, out of all. Out of all the
sleaze stack.
Out of all the snake films that you've seen or whatever, or what can y'all say about them? What can y'all say about them?
Most are always cheesy.
I think
no, they all kind of fall into the experiment gone wrong or the mythological creature.
Yeah.
They got stumbled upon.
The only one that really sticks out differently is actually oddly Snakes on the Plane.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
Because it was, granted, it was not meant to be a serious film because the way it was handled, but the way the movie was, the plot to get rid of everybody or get rid of the one witness by getting rid of the whole plane by the snakes was original. It was good. It was something different. But most of the other movies, just like Narik was saying, it's experiments gone wrong, mythological creature, or just some kind of rarity, super smart snake.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I don't think I've really ever seen a good any kind of snake movie that I can ever think of.
Like I said, the only one I can say is Anaconda. That's the best one.
Anaconda was really good. I mean, practically speaking, and it was only I think they only spent like $10 million to make that movie.
And
they made like $71 million.
And it had a pretty good story behind it.
It was a good thought.
Working on a documentary.
Trying to revive a classic monster type movie with better visual effects.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I can get behind that. There was one more thing that did either one of y'all see the newest Jungle Book that came out in 2016?
I see parts of it, not the whole thing yet.
Did you see the part with Kai?
Snake? How he was trying to talk to him.
Yeah, she was messing with him the entire because she only gets that one scene in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And you see Mowgli, and she's talking to him, hypnotizing him and stuff. And when you see her like wrapping him up, she looks like Python. She's huge. Like her head was almost as big as this table. Wrapping that little bitty boy up.
Yum, 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 yum.
It looked like this pen in this cup. I was like, I mean, Baloo came and saved him, but
Just like in the movie.
But it was pretty. But you don't see it. You see like him start. You see them start the fight, but that's it. But which is kind of sucks because you can't tell if she died or not.
And then Shere Khan.
I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, that was a pretty memorable moment. And of course, Indiana Jones. I think Raiders of the Lost Ark. The one part where he fell into the pit of snakes.
Oh man, that gave me the willies.
And he's scared of snakes. That's like his 1 week.
Why does it have to be snakes? Or remember when he was running from the tribe at the beginning of the movie and it has the python in the plane? He's like freaking the hell out.
Yeah. If you watch the fourth movie, he fell into the quicksand and they tried to throw him a rope, but he found out it was a snake. So he's sinking. He's like this.
I drowned. I drowned. Screw it. I remember when my dad, mom, and my dad had already seen Indiana Jones overseas, and he had come back to the States, and we all went to go see Indiana Jones. So the scene where he falls into the snake pit, he scares the crap out of my mom in the middle of the movie theater. Now, granted, the whole theater's packed. This is like the first 2 days the movie's in the U.S. We go see it, and he grabs my mom's leg at that snake scene, and she screams bloody murder, and then, of course, everybody in the theater, with all the snakes and everything. It was great. My dad still laughs about that. Scared everybody, that whole scene. And I hate snakes too. I mean, I let them do their own thing, but me and the snake will never have the same space ever.
Yeah. Well, guys, we have been rambling on about snake movies. We obviously need to catch up on some more snake movies, but that's okay. We had a good conversation. We had a lot of laughs, and we enjoyed ourselves. That's funny. But anyways, in the comment section below, let us know what are your favorite snake movies, what are your least favorite snake movies, and be sure to hit that like, share, and subscribe button, as well as that notification button to get the best of what's going on the Narik Chase channel. And remember to join us on Tuesdays and Thursdays for more uploads, because we are getting on this. And to the next edition of Breaking the Base or the next video, we will catch you guys later.